Hi, my name is Eliott. I'm the co-CEO of Lavoie, which is the new micromobility company of McLaren Applied. And our vision is essentially to redefine the way people perceive e-scooters. So we're all here for very similar reasons. We all care a lot about and want to help solve congestion, noise, pollution. And actually, if you think about it, there's already a beautiful, elegant solution from an engineering perspective, and that's the e-scooter. They're stable, they're light, they're compact, they're very efficient, they're very easy to use. So the question is, why aren't there more of them in the streets, at least compared to e-bikes? And we think it's because they are still considered as toys. And that's something we really want to solve. So to further talk about this, we actually went out and did a survey on above 2,300 adults in the UK to really understand what were the top factors they would consider when buying an e-scooter. And what came out was battery safety and road safety. So that's why we think today that the e-scooter market is becoming ready for a premium solution, a premium e-scooter that you feel safe to use, that is an object of desire that you feel proud to own. So the way we've addressed that, we actually got inspired by Formula One suspensions to create a novel folding mechanism, patent pending, called FlowFold. So the great thing about FlowFold is that on top of reducing your height and width, it actually reduces the length of the vehicle. Not only that allowed us to get rid of kickstand, but also to have a longer wheelbase with a wider foot platform. And what that translates to is a more stable vehicle, almost like a motorbike, giving you an automotive feeling when you're riding it, as well as very safe and comfortable foot position and great ergonomics. While at the same time, it still fits in your daily life, under your desk, in your living room, in an aesthetic way. There we go. So how are we planning to deliver this? Well, first of all, we worked with some of the best industrial designers in the automotive industry to come up with our concept and prototypes. We then created our own testing standards, way above regulatory standards. And finally, we are now working on our manufacturing, namely our assembly lines and our tooling, to make sure that every single unit that comes out of our production lines is, of a level that satisfies our promise in terms of quality and reliability. Another interesting thing we focused on are ergonomics and a feel of integrated riding, like you would have on a car or a motorbike. And so the way we did that, we created our own customs control, for example, which allow you to activate your horn, your turn indicators, switch lighting modes, power modes, without getting distracted from the road. It's also equipped with an integrated quarter screen that links up with the Lavoie app, which allows you to further enhance the experience with GPS location, turn-by-turn navigation, vibration alarm, and so on. And of course, the great thing with that is we're able to continuously improve the experience even as you own the e-scooter. So I'm happy to introduce you to some of our key specs. A slight correction here, our max power is actually 900 watts. And the key takeaway from this is that we really focus on providing great power, great range, really strong hill climb capabilities, good speed, but if you don't want it, you can just use the app to restrict it, same with the power. And we did all this while leveraging magnesium alloys and other clever engineering to make sure that the weight was as minimal as possible with that configuration to make it something that most of our riders can use day to day. Quick note on our team, we're a diverse range of experts from automotive to luxury marketers that are focusing on delivering this vision to market. And very quickly, we are now finalizing the production phase, opening pre-orders on the 19th of June for our subscribers and the 22nd to the public, and first deliveries are scheduled in November. Opa, that's it for me. There you go. Thank you.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. So, questions?
I'll have a quick question. Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. I know this is a bit early, but always a good time to start. Do you have an end-of-life strategy for your components and notably your battery?
Yes, that's a very good question, actually. It comes back to sustainability. And what we're doing here is we're really focusing on making very high-quality components tested to last at least 10,000 kilometers. And some of these components are actually extremely modular. Most of the components of the scooter are very modular, so we can actually take them back, fix them, recycle them into some of the products. The one issue, of course, is some of them actually reach an end of life around that time. So that means that they have to go, and we try to use materials such as magnesium, aluminum, and so on that can be recycled, same as battery cells, etc. We use Samsung technology, which now have programs to take their cells, recycle them, refurbish them, etc. So we're maximizing the work on that. There's a lot to do in the industry for sure to get there, and that's something that's definitely a vertical we're focusing on to make it as attractive as possible.
Thank you.
I'm curious about your sales strategy. So obviously you want everybody eventually to buy one, right? But you'll probably have an ICP, an ideal customer profile in mind. Where do you start?
So in terms of the sales, you mean?
Yeah, where are you targeting?
So we are going to start our pre-order campaign, of course, with a mainly D2C strategy in the EU, the US, and the UK. And then the plan is to expand to retailers as soon as we're able to stock them. So depending on we have a planned production capacity, depending on how we want to make sure that every unit satisfies every key criteria we have in the market. And we expect to be able to push to retailers around, I would say, between January and March next year. And the key for us, it's also something that I think Bo is very right about, is e-scooters are actually the perfect solution to e-mobility, to be honest. And there's a slight bias towards e-bikes because it's something we all grew up with and saw our parents ride, right? So we always thought, okay, that's an adult thing that we feel confident to use. The issue with e-scooters is that they were born from a toy that also I think most of us rode as kids, but you never saw your dad or mom on them, right? And so what happens is that whole work to actually redefine the way people perceive these vehicles, and the way we're planning to do that is by actually pushing them as much as we can to society by influencers, different celebrities we have. We also, of course, have the support of McLaren Applied, which is very helpful for motorsport, for the automotive industry. And the plan is really to show people that you can have a vehicle that's built like a car or a motorbike that you can really trust, that looks beautiful, and that feels also beautiful when you ride it. And that's the plan, right? So it's to get out there first with, of course, enthusiast people that are going to be interested, and then, as you said before, actually push to propagate it outwards to people that necessarily wouldn't have thought of riding a scooter before, but due to the way the feel we're trying to give with the Series 1, they start to become interested, etc.